back. It's playing Voodoo. I'm your host Derek, and joining me today is Alex.
What's up, everyone?
Today's episode will be a weekly recap for Australian Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. So out on the platform we already have on Spotify and YouTube, episode recaps for episode 1 and 2. That was providing my analysis and what went down, my favorite moments. So today I'll be asking Alex questions about how he thought the first 2 episodes played out, and then we'll run down episode 3. Let's get to it.
Sounds good.
So Alex, what'd you make of the opening sequence?
What do you mean, like the challenge or them introducing the characters?
The introduction.
The introduction of the characters is pretty cool. I wish American Survivor did that. Still, they do American Survivor is much more, I think, I don't know, quicker. They do it. They really do give you a flashback, and it's usually them on the boat. This is much more theatrical. They're going through the jungle and shit. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, I miss those. I do miss those intro packs that we used to get. I mean, we never got really good ones. I think season 20 had the best one.
Yeah,
Heroes vs. Villains.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And then additionally, you just mentioned it. Typically in U.S. Survivor, we see the castaways get the food and materials.
Yeah.
And in this sequence, they had him spread out, and you were able to
Fight each other.
Fight.
Yeah, they were fighting for
Yeah.
a fishing line.
What'd you make of that?
I don't know. Did anyone ever end up getting that fishing line?
I don't know. It kind of just panned over.
Yeah, I know. They fought so hard for it.
Well, if anything, more than likely it's skipping ahead, but the villains ended up raiding the heroes.
Yeah,
So
no,
they
that
probably-
wasn't.
If the heroes got it, the villains got it now.
Yeah, I had some thoughts on the raiding right there. What was your tactic about it if you had to raid a camp like that?
Take everything.
Yeah, are you like Georgie, where it's like, hey, let's knock down their camp and shit? Or are you more like, was it Mimi that was like, no, let's be nice?
It was Mimi. That's the only thing I probably wouldn't mess with the shelter too much, but like everything else, their tools and food, it's all gone.
I probably would have fucked up their shelter, just knowing it. But yeah, no, first challenge was a lot of fun. I didn't like the location.
The second challenge,
What was the second one again?
where I mentioned it was poor design having them flip over into water. We see George and Jackie.
Oh yeah, I wanted to bring that up. Like, who do you think's gonna have a better glow up game? Janine's chin or Georgie's face?
Oh man,
Because Georgie's face is absolutely in shambles right now, man.
I'm honestly glad he's okay. I'm surprised he didn't break his neck or something.
Yeah, no, it was bad. But no, he's all jacked up.
It's going to be George over Janine. I mean, he's done it. He's played before, so he already has that shine. If we saw it, this whole second episode was pretty much George. Yeah.
Yeah, third episode had a lot. It's hard to not get a lot of screen time when you're George. They just film George a lot.
Yeah.
He's crazy. And he should be at the bottom of his tribe,
He should be.
but he's not. I think
Because of one person.
Shawnee. I think Shawnee's keeping, but Shawnee also should be at the bottom of that tribe too. Simon should be running the show of that tribe. I feel like.
We'll get to it. I think the vets aligning with each other might be the downfall of Simon's game, but I'll get to that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what happened with Jackie. Is there anything? Do you think the villains made so at Tribal, at the beginning of Tribal, Jonathan mentions that they will be hearing soon about news from George and Jackie, and then everyone casts their votes, and he lets everyone knows that George is doing well.
It's
still
potentially could come back.
And then Jackie
Definitely is not.
broke her collarbone.
She's
Hate
out.
to see it. Wish her speedy recovery. I'm sure she's recovered by now when this was filmed.
Yeah.
And Jonathan gives them a choice.
Yeah, he says, I'll read the votes, and that person will be voted off, or you guys go back to camp and you're just down Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
And like villains do, they decided, hey, let's not just be down one member, let's go down 2, potentially 3, and let's vote someone off. So
Smart choice.
Was Angeli that big of a threat they needed to get out, or was it that important to get her out?
They knew that she was a number for George.
Sure, but this is the thing. It's like when you get that. So Australian Survivor is much more like old school Survivor, where tribe strength and keeping numbers is very important for your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
You're immediately down. They're down 4 now.
Yeah.
Spoiler: they lost everything. They were losing. They've down. It's 12-8 now.
Yeah.
Advantage. If they go into a merge, they're in
Or even a
serious.
swap.
Even swap. That would be even worse. So they're heavily down now. I mean, do I think that Ansley would have helped them in the challenges or anything, or would have been a good number going forward? Probably not, but still a number that you probably should hold on to, especially in the Australian Survivor game. If this was American Survivor, you could probably fucking toss them, but Australian Survivor, it's a different beast. You gotta, tribal lines are more important.
Do you think the heroes would have made the same decision?
I don't know, if it was to get Rogue out, maybe. Or maybe Haley. I think Haley's in a lot of trouble on that tribe.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would have. I think who do you see as the leader of that tribe? Sean?
Yeah.
I don't think Sean's gonna try to just get anyone out. I don't think they're gonna make the same decision. I think Haley would be okay with it, trying to get someone else out, but I don't think just mob mentality, I don't think people are gonna do it if Sean says no.
For sure. A few more questions surrounding it because I just find it so interesting and fascinating. Do you think, so this pertains both to US Survivor, what do you make of, I guess, the situation of allowing the castaways to choose whether or not to read the votes? Do you think US Survivor would ever consider that?
Well,
I mean, I guess that also parlays into my other question. What do you make of Australian Survivor allowing their contestants up to 24 hours for recovery?
I don't mind that. I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, I don't mind it. I didn't think Georgie was that hurt, to be honest. It looked bad, but he was walking. Jackie seemed like she was messed up. But regardless, they do it on Survivor too. It'll be like, hey, we're gonna let you stay here for a day and see how you feel. But they don't take them out, so I don't know. As long as they're not eating, I'm okay with it, or drinking water.
I mean, yeah, they barely even touched his face from the looks of it.
Yeah, no, as long as they're not like drinking or eating, then yeah, it's okay.
What do you make of? Do you think US Survivor would have ever, like, would Jeff Probst ever entertain allowing the contestants whether or not to read the votes?
Jeff Probst did this thing 2 seasons in a row where he let a woman or let people choose who had immunity and who didn't. So I don't think Jeff is going to be that picky when it comes to, hey, I'll read the votes. I mean, no, I think Jeff would do that. If it's good entertainment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they would do it. I don't know, man. I think it was a really weird move by those people, by the villains. Even when I was watching, I was like, they can't just vote someone now. They might be down 3 people. They could have been down 5.
They could have. So that first episode, we see them lose.
At day 9, down 5, man.
2 castaways, Jackie and Angeli. Second episode, George returns, and we have Michael kind of in the background. He's a new player who's persistent on George being the next to go.
Yeah, I mean...
Anything you make from Michael and his gameplay?
I don't think you had to work that hard to get numbers to go against George. I think if they ever do something like... my advice would be, if you're a new person, play it cool. Let the veterans flame out, because I think Georgie is going to flame out. Maybe not, but let him rile people up, let him go look for idols and stuff, and then just sit back and just mention it. Just, hey, what about Georgie? It'd be pretty cool to get him out, but Shawnee needs a shield, man. So,
is there a new player? I mean, we haven't really seen much of the Heroes tribe, but is there a new player on the Villains tribe you think that is playing cool and just laying back?
Most of them are.
Fraser, maybe?
Fraser, yeah, he is. Mimi really wasn't. No. She was. Angela wasn't. I mean, Liz and Sarah, right? Shawnee's, yeah.
Liz is with Shawnee, yeah.
Yeah, and so is Sarah. Kinda.
Sarah, yeah, kind of.
So I think they're more.
Although Sarah does want George out, as far as I think.
Maybe. I know, but Liz is kind of like, I see her more like a Natalie Bolton kind of character, like someone that follows Parvati around. Like Shawnee's Parvati in this case, and Liz is following Shawnee, and it's kind of like her sidekick.
So then we get to the reward challenge. That we see a turnstile in which both tribes have competitors compete trying to turn like a cogwheel
Yeah.
in mud. Did you like that challenge?
Yeah, I love that challenge. Wish American Survivor did that challenge. Like, this is the other thing. When they do, there actually has been a lot less one-on-one battles than I had expected. Because the villains should be losing all those, basically. I feel like.
Because Sean's gonna win his matchup more often than not.
And they know that.
And Flick's gonna win her matchup more often than not.
And they know that. They know that. So what they do is the villains are like, hey, why are we going to put Simon with Sean and waste the big guy? Let's put fucking that 60-year-old Stevie with Sean, who's definitely not going to win, but then you waste Sean's spot very much. Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know. Have you ever seen The Water Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, where Bobby Boucher comes back in overtime and they're down already.
Yeah.
So the offense just keeps kneeling just because they're like, hey, no, we're not going to let Bobby Boucher play. That's basically what they're doing, kind of.
Essentially, just forfeiting the possession.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're not going to win this battle. Not even going to try it. Yeah. So we're going to put Steve. I think this is going to. I hope it doesn't break the one-on-one challenges, but it could. Australian Survivor loves one-on-one challenges. But now they're kind of finding like a loophole where you don't always have to put your big guys against the other big guys.
I think we'll still see one-on-one challenges in the future. I just think Sean's massive.
Yeah. It was like, remember Heath?
Yeah.
He was no. He was like the guy that was like 7 feet tall.
No, I don't remember.
He was on Contenders. I'm talking. This guy was a fucking giant.
Oh yeah. That dude was massive.
He was like 7'1" or something like that. But yeah, Sean. I think what is he 6'7"? He said.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's fucking huge too. So. But yeah, I don't know.
The reward for the challenge. The villains ended up winning. They got to raid the heroes' camp.
There we go.
The heroes being there.
Kind of already talked about it. Fuck, the heroes should have been there, to be honest. That needs to come back. Okay, that was in Pearl Islands where it's like, hey, you get to steal something from the other person's camp. Why not? Why aren't we doing this all the time?
They got to steal everything.
They did. It had 15 minutes to steal whatever you want. I was like, okay, we're gonna take fucking everything.
Did they? I made note of it. They took most of the food, or if not all of it. Did they take the machete at all?
I don't know. I mean, there might have been stuff that's off limits.
Okay.
Maybe like machete, flint. Man, I would have. 15 minutes was too much, and it's like also if the heroes had won that, what were they gonna fucking take from the villains? Villains didn't have shit.
No, because that opening challenge, it's the heroes had everything.
Yeah, so why did the villains even play when he says, is it worth playing for? The heroes should be like, no, this is not. It's a lose-lose. Either we win nothing or we lose everything.
I do wish the heroes tribe was kind of there when it was happening.
Yeah, just see their faces.
Yeah. So then, I mean, the next challenge, it's funny enough. I did not make note of this in my second episode, but I'll make note of it now. George says, just wait until there's a puzzle. Just wait until there's a puzzle. And we see a puzzle.
You fucked that up, dude.
And yeah.
Him and Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Should have had Stevie on it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Is Stevie that good at puzzles?
He was calling it out, and it seemed to be the correct piece, at least.
Maybe.
A few times.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, George is really not doing himself any favors in this game so far. Well, let me rephrase that. Episode 3, he starts doing some stuff. But
we'll finish up episode 2. Not much else happens other than we see the Spice Girls is formed.
Yep.
Between George, Liz, and Shawnee.
Yeah.
Anything? Do you like that trio?
I said if Shawnee and George get an alliance, dude, that's gonna be a fucking toxic fucking alliance, dude. It's gonna be really bad. We'll see how long they stay. I don't think either of them love the idea with working with each other. It seems like an alliance out of convenience.
I think Shawnee wants to for as long as she can.
I think, like I said, it's an alliance out of convenience for them. where George needs an ally and Shawnee needs a shield. I don't think either of them really are best friends or gonna message each other or anything or hang out at home. But I think both of them need each other in the game.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We'll see how long it lasts them. Like Simon and Jordy, that alliance seems more like they're bros. They're gonna vote each other because they like each other. I think Shawnee and George are just like, hey, we're gonna vote with each other because we kind of have to.
Yep. So then we see, only other thing I'll note, we see Michael voted out unanimously other than
His vote.
And George puts a vote on Stevie as well, probably in case Michael plays an idol. But then, Michael gets voted out. So that makes the first two people voted out this season. They were both journalists. That's kind of funny. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
You can't talk about this episode without talking about cookies.
No, man. What was it? Did it have a cool name? About cookies in it? Because I thought it was going to be titled something cool.
No, I mean, you saw Jonathan at the end when the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, but I thought it would be got her caught with her hand in the cookie jar or something because she fucking literally did.
She did.
Yeah, Mimi was looking. So they got a huge thing of cookies. The villains tribe. They won the challenge.
They won the reward.
Yeah.
Once again, employed similar strategy, having Stevie go against Sean
again in the water, and it was it was easy. It was like watching.
I mean, he's so tall, he just treads the water easy.
Yeah, and Stevie could barely get out of it, dude. So Stevie's 40 years older than the guy too.
Not that much, not 40, but yes, he's significantly older. He's in his mid 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. How old is Sean?
Probably low to mid 30s. Yeah.
Okay, so 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that was that important, but still, it's there's a huge disparity between them.
They win a giant cookie jar. Now, we haven't seen that kind of reward at US Survivor where it's just a cookies.
Yeah.
We haven't in a while.
Yeah, no, they don't really give good award. Oh, originally, they were giving away just fish in the last couple episodes, or last Survivor seasons. Mm-hmm. It was just a fish.
Yeah, and this is not the only time we've seen cookies come up in Australian Survivor.
No.
We've seen it several times.
Yeah, the most famous, Luke and Jericho, I would say. The Cookie Bandits.
We saw it a bit on All Stars with, right? Was it All Stars? David and that group.
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds like something David would do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'll mention everybody, they get back to camp after they win reward. They're eating cookies just in the water. And George said he hangs back for a bit and goes searching for an idol.
Yep.
And stumbles upon it.
Finds it.
Yep.
Also interesting, I don't know if you caught it. You probably did. This is a little bit forward in the channel or episode. After the challenge, he tells Haley where to find one.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I caught on. I saw it.
I don't know if it's going to be the same. I don't. It's a big guess for him to be like, hey, I think I know where it is at your camp. But he might be right, and if he's right and saves Haley, that'd be cool. I don't know why they're really working with each other. They don't seem to really. They were talking mad trash about each other on the mats.
Like you stated 5 minutes ago, how Shawnee and George are kind of working out of necessity.
Yeah, I guess.
George and Haley see themselves having to work with each other.
Yeah, Haley's got to work with someone. She's got to figure out what's going to go on that track. I mean, I think she's in a lot of trouble, so she should find that idol pretty soon. But yeah, almost 1,000 cookies it seems like, and they're just eating them for meals.
Yeah, and everybody knows there's probably a clue for an idol hanging out inside the cookie jar, and no one wants to go for it. And in the middle of the night,
and Mimi tries. And who was it, Sarah or Liz?
It was Liz.
Liz was just watching her the whole time.
It's very creepy how they shot it.
Yeah.
And she was just sitting up.
And that shit got around pretty quickly. And
yeah.
I think that's what did it in for Mimi. I think she was already on the outs of her tribe, but that was the final straw. Yep, she got, like I said, she got her caught with her hand in the cookie jar.
Yep.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. And then...
she was not being a smart cookie.
During the challenge, I want to note, I liked how they reused the ladder. I thought it was very innovative, using it for different segments of the challenge.
Yeah, they do that occasionally.
Very much enjoyed that. And then, like you mentioned at the end, George and Haley, him giving her advice possibly of where the hidden immunity idol is. something to look out for.
Are you good with monkey bars?
I used to do them a lot when I was a child.
They were having a lot of trouble with them.
It was probably raining and wet.
Yeah.
So very slippery.
Yeah.
Not easy. And then they get back to camp, so villains are gonna go to another tribal, and people are just eating cookies.
Yeah,
and
at tribal.
Simon finds something in the cookie jar.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
It's not a clue.
Yeah, so this is my thing. Have you seen this happen? I haven't watched all the Australian episodes. Has this happened before?
Where? What?
He finds like it's like a medallion kind of thing. Okay.
Well, yeah, with like no
necklace.
Yeah.
There's like no necklace to it. There's no paper. It's a cookie shaped kind of
emerald.
It was like it has an emerald. It looks like an idol. It's a cookie shaped kind of thing. It's brown on the outside.
It looked like George's idol just without the necklace.
It really did, and that's the thing. So, what is that? Is that just for someone to find, and then it's like, hey, they're gonna play that and look like a fucking idiot?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the assumption is it's probably an idol.
Well, no. Because if you look at his confessionals, they cross out an idol. He says it's an idol, but it has a red X over it. So I don't think it's a fucking idol.
Idol nullifier?
I don't think it's an idol nullifier. I don't think it's anything. I think they're just fucking with him. I think they put it in there, and
That'd be wild.
They're hoping he plays it, and when he does, he looks like an idiot. I don't know why they're doing that to a contestant, but I think that's what they're doing.
From a TV standpoint, I'd love it, but if I was Simon, I'd be pissed.
I'd be fucking devastated. I'd be like, "What the hell is that?" But you gotta also there was no note to it.
Yeah,
there was no note, so he's just immediately assuming it's an idol. You know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. And he wanted to play it, and
I
was really hoping to.
I'll get to that. I just want to note real quick the exchange we saw between Simon and Jordy. How he's like, I have it. It's in my pants.
Yeah. It's like, I want to feel it.
I want to feel it. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then we pretty much see George is going to be the one to go. That's kind of what's been floating around at camp. And Shawnee works her magic again for the most part.
Oh, I thought it was more between Stevie and Mimi that they were choosing to vote off.
George's name was out there.
It was out there. Well, Simon's always going to throw it out there.
Once Simon found the idol.
But they didn't know of the plan. They just knew there was a plan at the last minute. So she doesn't want to vote Georgie out, and she also doesn't want to vote Stevie out, I don't think, right? Or no, she didn't want to vote.
She wanted Stevie out because Stevie wanted her out, and she voted out Stevie the first time.
So, but then at tribal council, Mimi just said something, and everyone just flipped their vote to fucking Mimi. I don't know, what she said was kind of just like a borderline basic answer, but it was enough to where Shawnee was like, let's fucking...
What'd you make of the vote flipping at tribal? We don't see it too often where it's like that like...
Unanimous?
Yeah. That blatant.
Yeah. And like, because Georgie wanted to keep Mimi, right? He really wanted her to have her as a number. So, where did he get that? Because I feel like he probably would have stuck with voting for Stevie. But did he get wind of it or something?
Yeah. I mean, we saw... Yeah, essentially, Shawnee and Liz were like, I kind of want to vote Mimi now. So they must have told George right then, too.
But he was on the other side of the tribal council. I don't know, like, because the only person that got up to talk was at least Jordy.
Oh, Jordy did.
Jordy got up. But this is the other thing, is we don't see the whole edit, I guess.
We didn't.
Obviously, but it's like Jordy got up and whispered. He said, "Hey, he has a plan to get out Georgia. Do you want to do it?" And they both said no. So, but in that, where did Georgie find out that Mimi was now the new target? Did they go in knowing that?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Her name's obviously probably out there because everyone knew she was the cookie bandit working in the middle of the night.
Yep.
I do want to make note of, what'd you think of, Simon was quite persistent in trying to get Jordy on board to make a move on George.
Yeah.
Do you think that was smart on his part to be so persistent?
I don't think Jordy, Jordy, and I don't think
Simon being persistent.
Yeah, but being persistent is fine. I mean, Jordy didn't seem like annoyed or anything. And it wasn't like he was persistent with a group. He was really only persistent with Jordy. He really only wanted him and Jordy to do this. So, no, I don't think it's a big deal because I don't think Jordy really gave a fuck. I think he kind of wanted to do it, but he also kind of wanted it to be more like a team thing to get Georgie out.
You have to have the Shawnee and Liz on board, otherwise they're going to turn on you after.
Yeah, they are. That was the thing.
And they might still, regardless, later on this season.
Just the fact that he said Georgie's name to them, said, hey, we got a plan to get Georgie out.
Alerts.
Yeah, it's like...
now.
So Shawnee really needs Georgie in the game, and she seems pretty committed to keeping him in the game. I don't know why Georgie would tell her that.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out, though. I mean, I think it was a bad move, but...
Do you make... I mean, a few last things I want to make note of. Even if Simon ended up playing his idol either for Stevie or Mimi, George probably would have been alerted and played his idol for himself. So I don't think his plan would have worked.
Maybe. Yeah, knowing Simon playing it, I feel like he probably would have played it.
And then additionally...
That's I wanted to see it because I want to know what that fucking thing is that Simon has. I want to know what's going to happen when he plays it. Is that a real idol? Is it not?
Yeah. And then we see Simon reach for what we assume to be an idol, and it's a
I knew it was like... I thought it was going to be like a bottle of water or like like his canteen. I knew he wasn't going to do that. But yeah, he pulled out a cookie because Jordy snuck cookies into trouble. Yeah.
Vote unanimous. The only other thing we see at the very end of the episode, Simon has George's hat in his bag and burns it.
Yep.
Making a statement, says he'll come back and finish the job at a later time.
We'll see.
I'm invested in the heroes at this point. The villains. The heroes, I could really... I mean, we'll see.
See them. It's really weird. It's the exact opposite of American Survivor, where the villains dominated the challenges, it seemed like. And then the heroes really fucking sucked at the challenges. I think that was basically because they didn't have a clear leadership, where the villains did have one in Rob. But I don't know. I digress, I guess.
So we'll see. That wraps up our kind of weekly preview going through each episode, including episode 3 for Australian Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. We're excited for the upcoming episode. Maybe Haley's in danger. We'll see about that.
I don't want her to be.
But yeah, anticipate, like we did for this week, I'll be giving my favorite moments of the episodes rundown for the first 2 episodes of the week, and then we'll do a weekly recap like we're doing today. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at PlayingVoodooPod. Subscribe either on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're listening. We really appreciate the support. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think of Australian Survivor so far, how the season's progressing, who you think's going to win. We want to hear from you. Just playing Voodoo, where split vote is not safe.